Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond Dafeet. I know it's been a minute, but we're back with another review looking at the Asics Dynablast. This is pretty much your lightweight Novablast. I'm going to be also comparing the two, seeing which one you should be picking up for your day-to-day runs or just even your casual wear, which one's going to feel better, and which one can you pretty much train up to a marathon, even do a marathon in. Is it your Dynablast? Is it your Novablast? Should you buy one? Should you buy both? We're going to cover it all in this video, so stay tuned. Let's get into it. To start with, let's break down your Dynablast. This is a nice, lightweight, neutral, bouncy, all of the above kind of shoe. It's really lightweight on the foot, wraps around the foot really well, but who's it for? We're looking at that neutral runner, so someone who stays quite straight throughout the step, or even supinates, goes to roll out. Because it is quite a flexible shoe overall, if you're someone with a lazy foot or someone who pronates or has a low arch, you're going to really kind of just collapse the shoe quite quickly essentially. So even for myself, I've got quite a high arch and I found myself still coming across in the shoe a little bit. So you want to have a decent running form with this guy, or just have a reasonably strong foot overall to be able to get the best out of this shoe. Yes, if you have a lower arch or you're slightly pronate, you can wear it. However, the shoe itself doesn't have a lot of support in there. It does wrap around the foot really nicely, but overall the shoe is designed to be really lightweight, fast, quite poppy underneath the foot. It doesn't have any kind of medial posting or any firmer support in the shoe. If you're someone who needs a more supportive shoe, definitely look towards the Asics Stability range as opposed to the Dynablast. But jumping into the positives, so I went for a first run in this guy. It does feel really lightweight and soft overall. Running with that one-piece flat foam blast cushioning system that was extremely popular in the Novablast. I backed it up again in the Dynablast. You do actually have a 12mm drop apparently, so you got 16mm at the forefoot and then 28 at the heel. It's hard to believe. It doesn't really feel like a 12mm drop, to be honest. It just kind of feels like your stock standard 10mm drop by Asics. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on there, but overall, yes, the shoe does get to your forefoot quite nicely. Now, if you are to heel strike or midfoot strike in the shoe, you can kind of get away with it, as opposed to Novablast. I said in multiple videos that the Novablast felt very kind of unstable if you were to heel strike in it, but you can get away with it in this guy. Now, for the first kilometer I was running, it felt very lightweight, very poppy, very responsive, and quite a fun shoe to run in. Now, because I'm very unfit, once I kind of got into that second kilometer, my foot did start kind of sliding across in the shoe. Because it's such a stretchy, lightweight, nice kind of feather light upper, it held the foot really well, like it wrapped around the foot nicely, but it is very stretchy. It's very, very forgiving up across the forefoot, so it's not going to feel like it's pressing in the toes or anything like that, but I didn't feel like I was getting any support kind of locking in the midfoot. Now again, that probably goes back to me and my running style in general. It's not very on point at the moment because I am very unfit. So I would suggest this shoe for someone who does have that good running form and wants to get into the next step nicely, or just kind of doesn't care in general. If you just want something lightweight to pop on the foot and you can kind of, I don't know, even go out for a coffee in or go for your 5k runs, this shoe is going to work really well for that, 100%. Yeah, got a little sidetracked then, but going on to your feel again, with that flat foam blast cushioning running all the way through, as I was saying, it is very, very soft. Doesn't really feel like you have a 12mm underneath your foot, but it does get you to your forefoot well, and then onto the next step quite efficiently. With your outsole, you do have a ton of rubber here. Again, going with that trampoline effect that they used in the Novablast, it makes for quite a poppy, responsive feel, and one of those shoes where the outsole actually complements your midsole as opposed to taking away from it. You don't really feel the rubber underneath the foot. You do grip the ground quite well and able to toe off to that next step very efficiently for sure. Overall, the Dynablast is a very nice lightweight package by Asics, coming in at that $200 mark for that lightweight trainer that, say, competes very nicely against the Saucony Kinvara or even your Nike Pegasus. That's what I kind of put it up against, and probably the most relatable. This guy against the Pegasus would be, yeah, a great matchup overall. I'd say the Dynablast itself would feel a lot more spongy, plus responsive. So that's where your flat foam blast is such a great cushioning system, and definitely one of the better cushioning systems on the market right now. So overall, I really love this midsole, and your upper is really comfy. As I just mentioned before, it's very stretchy on the upper. It's one of those kind of shoes you put on, feels like a second sock. A little bit of a heel counter around the back there. It's not super firm, so I mean it holds the foot alright, locks you in enough, but it's not a supportive heel counter by any means, and it's just that nice lightweight feel across the top of the foot. So overall, it's very breathable as well. The laces aren't too intrusive, and a little bit of padding on the tongue. So if you're wanting a shoe that feels very lightweight and you can kind of go for those 5-10k runs in at the most, but I wouldn't say this is a daily trainer by any means. I'd say it's that kind of backup tempo shoe, or that shoe that you want to kind of go for that casual run in, but you're not trying to slug out a ton of Ks. If you just want to get in that 2-3 kilometer run, or even that 5k park run, and then go out with a coffee with some friends, like, it's a very aesthetically pleasing shoe, and it looks quite good across the whole thing, and fits and feels very comfortable as a shoe that you could put in a rotation, say with a Novablast or with a Nimbus, and you just want that lightweight, fun, bouncy shoe. The Dynablast is definitely one to pick up for sure. If you are looking at ordering the Dynablast online, I would recommend probably going half a size smaller than what you normally do, just because the shoe seems to fit a little long. In terms of width, it fits on point. Now, it is a standard fitting shoe. It's not a narrow shoe, it's not a wide shoe. It is just in that standard width, so it fits great width wise and a very stretchy upper. However, I do think the shoe fits half a size long, so either try it on in store if you can. I know with COVID and stuff it's different for everyone, but if you are going online, I would suggest probably trying that half size smaller than what you normally do. Moving on to a real quick comparison between the Dynablast and the Novablast. Essentially, this is your big brother of this guy. So your Novablast has a bit more cushioning running throughout the shoe, Dynablast a little bit less. Both shoes use a flight foam blast cushioning system, so both feel very lightweight, bouncy, soft, squishy, kind of all the above. So when you press into the shoe, you sink into it, but it does give you that nice trampoline effect, and is quite bouncy in both shoes. Now, if you want that more cushion ride running throughout, lean towards the Novablast. If you want that kind of lightweight, really poppy feel, less shoe essentially, lean towards a Dynablast. Now, in my suggestions, I'd probably recommend having both shoes, or if you just want to grab one shoe as a daily trainer, lean towards a Novablast. Now, I have said in other videos, this isn't a full daily trainer, but in between the two shoes, if you had to pick one as a daily trainer, you'd lean towards a Novablast. Now, ideally, if you could pick up both, or if you could pick up the Nimbus Lite, the Novablast and the Dynablast, go for all those three because they work awesome in a rotation. But pretty much if you want that one shoe, you can go for that 10k, 20k run in. The Novablast will provide the foot with a lot more cushioning, and overall just a much more pleasurable ride for those longer runs. I think unless you got a really strong foot and a really great running form, if you tried to go more than 10k's in the Dynablast, you're going to be really struggling, and your feet are going to be working a lot harder than they should. In terms of your upper, overall fit and feel of the shoes, both shoes feel really soft and lightweight. With your Novablast upper, it definitely does fit with a little bit more depth, and was a little bit roomy across that forefoot area overall. Now with your Dynablast, it does wrap around that foot a little nicer. Using a bit more of a lighter knit upper, it holds the foot really well, but it is very stretchy. So if you have quite a flexible forefoot, or you do go to forefoot pronate, this shoe will not support you at all on the upper. With the Novablast having that slight little bit more reinforcement across the upper, or those overlays running around the foot, it does lock you in a little bit better in terms of your structure of your upper, so it feels like a little bit more of a supportive upper overall. But again, both are really lightweight shoes. Looking at the outsoles, your Dynablast and your Novablast are both very similar. Both have that trampoline effect and a ton of rubber underneath the foot. The one key difference I can see is that your rubber's actually joined at your heel in your Dynablast. Now I think with the new Novablast, I dare say you'll find that has the same effect. I found when running in the Novablast, if you did heel strike, it was very flexible there, and I think what they've done in the Dynablast, adding that rubber going across, it gives that touch of kind of, not support, but takes away that little bit extra flexibility that I found that this guy had. So it just makes for a much smoother transition from the heel to forefoot, where this guy can get a little bit flexible if you don't watch how you're running in it. I mean, overall, both very soft, pleasurable, fun shoes to run in. If you only had $240 and you only wanted that one shoe to go running in, I would suggest the Novablast. If you do have the money to buy both, 100% buy both. Wear this casually and maybe go for your 5k runs in it, and then if you want to build up the Ks and start training for a marathon, grab the Novablast. Or even just for those like 2 or 3 runs a week where you want to do a fair few Ks, wear the Novablast, and you want to go for that one faster run, then you put on the Dynablast. That's what I'd suggest. Overall, both great shoes by Asics. Yeah, and that's about it. Until next time, make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe, stay tuned with what we got coming up with on Instagram as well, so head over there and follow us. I know we haven't been posting as regularly as we would have liked or as you guys would have liked, but stay tuned. We got some best shoes of 2020 coming up shortly, as well as our most recommended ones going into 2021. So yeah, hang around. See ya.